Hi there, it's Rich and Mike from Drumhead again, and welcome back to another of our bite-sized lessons. Today we're going to be looking at a paradiddle groove, but it's going to be a more advanced paradiddle groove. You'll have seen in the introduction, it's a really cool groove. You've got different foot patterns in there, different use of the hands as well. But Rich will go through that, and once again, if you're enjoying what we're doing, remember to like and subscribe. Okay, Rich, over to you.
Hi guys, so as Mike said, we've already touched on the basics in another lesson of the paradiddle groove. So in this one, we're just going to take it on a step now, and we're going to start messing with the bass drum and maybe just let the hands wander a little bit. So in the original lesson, what we had was the paradiddle in 16th notes with the bass drum on 1 and 3.
1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a paradiddle, paradiddle. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's a nice, simple thing, and it just sounds a little bit nicer than straight 16th notes or an 8th note.
Yeah, definitely.
It just feels a bit nice, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we can do with it now, as we do with most grooves, we might go from this groove, and we might put another bass drum in and put that on 3 and.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now we can do exactly the same underneath of that paradiddle. Okay,
yeah.
So everything that we're playing there is lining up with the right hand. So the last bass drum comes on the first note of a double, which is always the trickiest bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So trying to get which is where that second bass drum is going to land, but it is still with the right hand, which from a technical point of view still makes it a little bit easier than if you started putting it on the opposite side.
But it's still a little bit more independence, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. We've just got to really work it slowly. And again, like we say all the time, let's not try and go, oh, I've got this idea, I've seen Rich and Mike do this. Let's try and play it at 150 beats a minute. No, let's not try. Let's just try and get the pattern down first, and then we can try and actually put it into some form of groove, and then eventually put it with a click, get the timing right of it, and then eventually actually put it into some music.
Yeah, it's going into flow, and
Yeah.
it's like that whole thing of I can play a groove, but it sounds rubbish.
Yeah.
Use that word.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But
you're right.
But yeah, just getting the difference between being able to play a groove and make a groove flow is a massive difference.
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely.
And that's where the time really needs to be put.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. And then if once we've got that down, then we can kind of mess with it a little bit more. So we could look at putting the bass drum on the and before 4, so 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So in an 8th note groove, that would be here.
And 4, 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can do exactly the same with the paradiddles over it.
It's just got a bit more of a funky feel.
Yeah, it feels nice.
Groove.
It does.
Yeah.
It feels nice.
Yeah.
And again, it's on that.
Yeah.
It's on the double right of the double right in the paradiddle where that bass drum goes, the first note. Yeah. So it's just getting that lined up. But if you need to sit and do this, without it even really being that musical, just do that until you work out where that actually needs to go.
Again, with every single time, if you can't do it, slow it down. It just works, doesn't it? Even if, and a lot of the time you feel like you're slowing it down to a ridiculous tempo that means nothing. But if you need to do that, you need to do that. I have to do it sometimes. When I'm learning parts
it's
in the studio.
exactly the same.
Yeah, you've got to do it.
And sometimes you'll actually, this sounds really kind of against what you would think, but sometimes when you slow it down that much, you actually get to where you want to be faster because you understand it more.
I think that's the thing that Dom said once. Yeah. Play slower, to be faster.
Yeah, that's it. Which goes against what you think. You think I want to play it fast, so I'm gonna strap myself in. I'm gonna put my seatbelt on, and I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to really, really, really slow it down.
It should really be play slower to make it sound good.
Yeah,
because fast grooves played badly. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if it, like you said, Matt, if it's rubbish slow, it's just going to be more rubbish fast.
Absolutely,
yeah. Because the speed compounds how terrible it is.
Yeah.
So you've got to get it right slow first, and then you can gradually start to speed it up.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of options there, and then the other one, which is, again, appears to be quite easy, but lining it up is not necessarily that easy. Which is to mirror the right hand and the right foot.
Okay.
So we're going to play exactly the same with the right foot as the right hand. Yeah? So you can miss some out, you can put some in, you can mess about with it a lot, yeah? You can play them all, you could take some out, you could play the first half of it with, you can play the and for in the second half, but any of those right hands you can hit.
The good thing about that is you've got a target to go, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got your right hand doing that. It's like, that follows it. Bang.
But you can honestly, you can hit any of those notes there.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think that all of them is too much.
Yeah, it depends, again, what suits the music you're playing on, obviously.
Yeah, it does.
And also, with that, the thing to bear in mind, I guess, with most things, it's the accuracy, isn't it?
Yes.
We're trying not to get flams between the kick and the hat. Which is something that is very easy to occur, isn't it? But it's hard to iron it out sometimes. That definitely needs a lot of time.
100%.
I mean, having said that, as with drumming, you might want to flam them to create different effects. There's always an alternative way.
There's always a contradictory thing of. You find that I'll say this to students all the time. I'll say, right, do this, and they'll go, but you told me not to. It's like, but yeah, I told you not to do it then. This is a different situation now in a different song.
Absolutely.
So now we'll do it. I do want you to do it now.
Yeah.
And then, they'll do something else a few weeks later, and I'll say, right, don't do that. They'll say, but you told me to then. It's like, no, this is a different thing. So it can appear like it's very vague and we're telling you one thing, but it's all dependent on, like Mike said a minute ago, the music and what we actually need.
Yeah.
So once you've got a few of these patterns down, we can explore a little bit and we can think, well, okay, so what happens if I put my right hand on the ride? Sounds nice. We could put the left hand on the hi-hat, bring the snare back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's great.
That sounds really nice. Yeah, we could open the hi-hat while we're playing on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It almost becomes like a percussion instrument.
It does, yeah.
Almost becomes like that shaker, that little thing that somebody else is playing. So now you can, get rid of the percussionist and take more money.
Take more cash yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Take more money. Yeah. So there you go. That's the basis of it. We've got moving the bass drum around. Obviously, you can take it to an extreme, and you can kind of start to think about, well, what if I try and push the boundaries? Push the boundaries until you find that really you've pushed it too much and it's kind of fallen off the edge. Yeah. And then obviously just push the tempo a little bit. So if I play a little bit first, I'll move it round a little bit, just the drums, and then I'll stop. We'll have a little talk about what I did, and then we'll try it with some bass so you can see how it fits together.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So there's all sorts going on there from randomness. Some of that is obviously way too much, way too overplayed. You know, if you're going... You're going to kind of start to fall over yourself with it, yeah? And it's not necessarily that musical, but you can really, really dig into it and see where your limit is, and then pull back from there, and then you should create something really, really nice with it.
Yeah, I mean, again, as with anything on the kit, you know, you can take it the way you did it there. Just move your hands anyway, can't you? It works on the toms as well, if you know, create a tom groove doing that. You know what I mean? It's just exploring the kit. It's learning the rudiments and then exploring around the kit. But yeah, it sounds great.
That's it. Yeah. So should we put some put some bass with it? We'll speed it up a little bit. Put some bass with it, and we'll have a little mess so you can see what it sounds like in a sort of rhythm section context.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go, guys. You can see what it's like playing it with some bass. So you've got that musical reference. I'm messing with it quite a lot. I'm just moving it around. I'm letting it go. Once you've got that pattern down, you know, you can really, really start to explore it. And that's the idea with it. Don't just play one thing with the pattern. Make sure you explore more where the possibilities are with it. And then that's how you're going to get and progress yourself forward as a player.
Good stuff. Yeah, sounds great.
So again, guys, you know, if you're enjoying these lessons, as Mike said, please remember to like and subscribe. As always, take your time when you're working on the stuff. Have fun, enjoy, and we'll see you on the next lesson.
See you later.